My family was worried about me. They could see that I was losing a ton of weight. I was 27 years old and I was a hairstylist full-time, working 10 to 12-hour days. Crazy. It was the best time of my life. I was diagnosed with intrahepatic cholangiocarcinoma, which is a bile duct cancer that forms in the liver. It just changes your life. I was fatigued. I had dark urine at the time, and then eventually I started turning jaundice, but I didn't realize it. Now that I look back, I see it in pictures, but it was the itching of the skin, which was another red flag. And your stool starts to get a clay color. So I was just going to my primary care and I'm just like, listen, I might have a UTI, my urine's weird color and I'm just tired. You just know your body and how you don't feel well. There's be random times where I'm just nauseous here and there. So then they're like, all right, we'll do a blood work. Went to Mayo Clinic. They just dismissed me and said I had lupus and, eat right, make sure you stay hydrated, all those things, when really I knew something was not right. I was going in the emergency room. I was actually 26 at the time. And I was just like, I don't feel right. Something's wrong. Can you just do all this blood work? My primary is saying I have lupus. And they were telling me, well, your blood work isn't showing that you have lupus. So you're just a healthy individual. And we just don't know what to tell you. If you're itching, maybe, change your detergent or get more rest. I wanted to crawl in a cave and never come out because my family was worried about me. They could see that I was losing a ton of weight. And, everyone I think was getting annoyed at the fact that I just didn't feel well, but I didn't want to say I didn't feel well anymore because I felt like everyone was just tired of me saying I didn't feel well. So I just kept it in. And I'm like, well, this is normal, and the last thing you think about is, having a diagnosis the way, I had. But it's just, you have to keep going. Each and every doctor, check your boxes, and you have to be your own advocate. So after almost, I want to say 9 to 10 months of just going to doctors, I woke up at 1 in the morning. And I was super nauseous, having severe pain on my upper right area, right under my ribs. And I'm like, I gotta go to the hospital. Something's not right. And once I went in the hospital, that's when my entire life just shattered. I got a CAT scan, I got an MRI, ultrasound, and they're just like, listen, you have something blocking your main bile duct. We see, but it doesn't look anything to worry about. So, we'll send you in an ambulance to Philadelphia. And that's when I woke up and they're like, hey, we tested your tumor and it is non-cancerous, but just a little tiny bit of the edge was precancerous. Nothing to worry about. And they're like, listen, we're going to cut it out, get a resection in 4 weeks and you'll be fine. So February of 2023, I woke up from my resection and the doctor walked in and he said, I'm so sorry I failed you. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, you have cholangiocarcinoma and you will see an oncology team tomorrow morning. And that's when my entire life changed. And they ended up taking 75% of my liver at that time because they cut it open and realized that they cut through my cancer tumors and spread everything. Shock. Literal shock. But in my head, I knew I was going to beat it. In my head, I knew I wasn't going to let this, end my life. Whether, they're going to tell me, listen, you only have a percentage to live, for the next 5 years. Or I just didn't even listen to anyone. And I just knew in my heart I wasn't going to leave anybody here behind. When I was told, listen, I'm sorry I failed you. You have cancer. In my head went, I should have done the things. I shouldn't have put the things I wanted to do on the back burner in the moment, whether it was because of money or, just do what you want to do. Don't care about what other people want to do. Do what you want to do because you don't want to look back and regret. I should have went to that concert. I should have, could have, would have. Just do it. And don't, obviously don't do things above your means, but do things to where you don't look back and regret. It changes you from that moment that they told me that to today. it definitely, like, a light switch goes off and you look at life like a whole different, like, view. And you know, you really are grateful for each and every day. I saw the oncology team and they kind of were just like, we could do this, we could do that. You're not strong enough for chemo, so we might wait a few months. And I felt like they didn't know the type of cancer. They didn't really understand that type of cancer because it's so rare. I was like, you know what, I need a second opinion. Something's just not right. So I highly, highly suggest for anybody out there, always, always, always get a second opinion, no matter what. Even if you love that person, it doesn't matter. Always get a second opinion. So I just Googled top 10 hospitals in the United States, and Mayo Clinic showed up as one for cholangiocarcinoma. So that's when I just said, I don't care. I'm gonna move out to Minnesota, see what they say, and get treatment. So I literally just got in the car and just drove to Minnesota, and I lived out there about 7 months. And my parents, you know, everyone were back home, and it was just one of those things where I'm like, Mom, Dad, I love you, but if you want me to be here, I gotta do this. So when I went out there, they read my case, took me right away, which I was so grateful for. And they made sure I was, you know, getting fertility treatments because I was 27 at the time. And then I went to oncology and they just said, listen, this is your game plan. We're going to start you on chemo in 2 weeks. They all had a surgeon on, you know, right there. And they're like, listen, if we're able to operate again, this is what we're going to do. I saw radiology. They just had a great set of team of just doctors that no matter what, any angle it went, they were able to just figure it out and have me survive, basically. You got to change your mindset and just say, listen, I want to be here and I'm going to do whatever I have to be here in this life, and just honestly fight. And that's just, you can't go back into like feeling sorry for yourself. And I know that's so hard and you do get in those moments, but then you got to pull yourself back up, whether it's having, you know, a good family, friends, just people that just support and love you, and just try not to get in that mindset and do whatever you have to do to just basically survive. So I started chemotherapy, which was not fun at all. But I did that for a few months, and then they were going to radiate the spot in my liver to where I still had positive margins. And they looked and said it was not strong enough to radiate because radiation's super hard. So they were like, we can't do that. The only thing we can do is do another operation and take your main bile duct out and hooked up your intestines with it, and then cut a little bit more of, just get a resection basically of the liver. And at that time my liver did grow a little bit, so they were able to do that. But they were worried about scar tissue and just, you know, a major operation like that. A couple months after, it was 2 major surgeries, you know, back to back, which was a little tough. But, you know, again, I was willing to do whatever I had to do. And thank God they were able to operate, because I probably wouldn't be here today if they were not going to. It is still a healing journey in a way. I think every day you get triggered with something, whether it's a smell or, you know, just a touch, or like if someone touches my arm, and that's where, you know, the chemo was, you know, there's definitely like little triggers like that, like of PTSD, I want to call it. Especially like getting scans, you know, every 3 months you make sure, you know, you're all right. Just the walking in the hospital, your heart just drops, and you just got to wake up and look in the mirror and just say, I got this and I'm okay. And, you know, just be in the moment and be present. Unfortunately, this cancer is a terminal illness, so it never really goes away in a sense. And the percentage rate of it coming back, it's high. So that's the mind games that it will play with you a little bit. So you want to look for your symptoms that you had before. And of course, you know, there's some days to where you wake up and you're like, I don't feel right. Something feels off. And then your mind just goes back to like, oh no, is it back? Or, you know, do I have to go get scanned real quick to make sure? Honestly, I wake up every day and I just tell myself I'm grateful for today and just be present. That's just the first thing I do when I wake up, because again, your mind wanders and you're like, oh, well, I have this tomorrow and I have this weekend. And I think it's so easy that, you know, your mind wanders and goes to like the future rather than just being in the present. So I just, you know, I do that in the morning. And then currently I'm on the board for a nonprofit fundraiser foundation for a 501c, and it is called Team Cure Cholangio. And it is, well, we raise awareness, of course, but we fund research for a cure for cholangiocarcinoma. And I really got involved with that and helping others. And because when I was diagnosed, I just feel like you're lost. You're on the internet, you're searching, and you're trying to have inspiration or hope or something to just, you know, give you at least just something to get inspired or hope or anything, because you just, you know, again, you can go through a dark hole. And so I really have been putting my time and energy into that. And if honestly, if I didn't get sick, I wouldn't have met my boyfriend today. I met him at a fundraiser for, unfortunately, his father, who passed from the same cancer. And it honestly, it just brings you in a group of people that just appreciate day-to-day life. And if I didn't get sick, I probably wouldn't have met him and so many other warriors that help make a difference in the world today. And I hate to say that I was, you know, I went through this journey, but it honestly was all meant to be.